bricks have different porosities, you see. So if you've got like a low porosity, it's got to be like a weak mix. If you've got a high porosity dense brick, you've got to make a stronger, harder mix. Because when you put the brick down on the mortar, the water soaks into the brick at different rates. So that means that the mortar dries differently. It's like science.
You're something else in terms of the trade, aren't you, really?
Well, I don't know. I mean, that's for other people to judge. I just like to put my work out there and let the people decide, really. First of all, I didn't leave school as a bricklayer. I wanted to become a professional golfer first. I didn't quite make it, so I ended up working with my dad on the windows and just doing general building jobs and stuff as such. So I ended up just working with my dad, just doing general building stuff. And then it wasn't until a few years later that my sister's boyfriend, I've got 3 sisters, one of my sister's boyfriends, he was a bricklayer and he needed help on site, just labouring. I think I fell out with my dad at the time. I said, oh, sorry, yeah, I'm going on this job now. So I ended up helping them for a couple of years and I thought, I can do this. It looks easy and they're earning good money. I thought, right, can you put me through my apprenticeship? And they did. I mean, they were really bad with me, you know. I had a really bad apprenticeship with them. They just used me and they were verbal bullies and, you know, they treated me really badly looking back, and they used me and used us to do jobs and they used to come up with excuses not to pay us, you know, the younger lads. And as soon as I got my papers, I was off, you know, from that company. But I didn't want to pull out until I'd served my time type of thing. So kind of toughened me up, but I went on to work with somebody else after that. They were decent with me, and then I just fluctuated, just doing little bits of brickwork here and there and helping my dad out on jobs. And then until I started the social media, I have shared my story on YouTube. Right? I've took the video off now, but yeah, I've been public with that. And yeah, a lot of people at the time when I released that video, they're like, yeah, I'm a safe, you know. There was a point where I said to my tutor at college, I said, oh, I'm not sure I can make this. I'm going through hell. Physically, every Sunday I was dreading going to work on Monday. That's not a good feeling. And it wasn't, there's a fine line between banter and bullying, you know, it's a fine line, but I mean, I can take a joke, I really can. And but it was more than that, because one of the lads was really tyrannical. It wasn't my sister's boyfriend, Stu, it was the other lad called really give me a hard time, you know. Phoning me up on Saturday when I'm with my girlfriend, where are you? You know, really phoning me up on Sunday, where are you? After work, it's like, yeah. What are you doing? You know, so it was more than that. I bet he regrets it now. You know, you're obviously going to get the people that say, you know, tough up, man up and all that, but then there's a lot of people that said, Stu, I've had a similar thing, and it, you know, it's part of the trade, I guess, unfortunately. It's like, again, it's the fine line of banter, and people need to, because it could be quite mundane on site, especially on a site environment. They need to come up with things to entertain themselves, to get them through the day and stuff. And practical jokes that, you know, it just gets progressively worse, and they're trying to find a weaker guy on site who won't stick up for himself, that he'll normally be preyed up on more. Yeah. You know, it's just, it does happen. I knew social media was going to be a thing way back when, really. I mean, I've been doing 8 years now, social media. I kept putting it off originally when YouTube came around, and I just thought, right, I'll just start a channel and start something, you know. Playing around with ideas, golf videos, golf vlogs, football, bit of comedy. And then I took my camera along to a conservatory base and I filmed it like a vlog style thing, and it took off. Like, I was like, what's this? And it's just like, oh God, they must like this. And then, but I just continued to do like a mixture of content. I think that was in about 2015. Yeah, 2015. I started YouTube in 2014 and then just continued to do a mixture of content. It just seemed to be the most popular one, the bricklaying. So I thought, oh, okay, there's something in this. I'll just set a company up quick. I think it was in 2016. I tried a few different various companies, but they never worked out. So I just set up this Best Bricky. I thought, right, what's a catchy name? Okay, Best Bricky, we'll call it that. And then we'll just go with that and then just see what happens.
I love the quote, though. You put, proud to be the first person in the world to modernise bricklaying on social media and to put it in on the map for everyone to see. That's really quite a fair appraisal, isn't it?
Yeah, well, I was lucky to do that. I'm not, you know, I wasn't telling any fibs. It's something to be proud of. And when I first went on, because I was just playing around with ideas. I wasn't even aware of any bricklayers. I didn't even know it was a thing on YouTube. The bricklayers on YouTube at the time, when I look back into it, when I was setting the company up, I thought, who else is doing this? Like, so there was Chris Longhurst and Rob Songer and Mike. There's a guy in American, Mike. They're in like the 60s. So they weren't really handy with media and graphic design and search engine optimization. I was, because I'd self-taught myself all this, you see.
Yeah.
Because I'd learned web and graphic design before anything, and I really enjoyed that. So I combined like web, graphic design, SEO and bricklaying into YouTube, and I thought I had a bit of an advantage. That's why I kind of kept going with it, because I thought I had something, and I did. I mean, don't get me wrong, I didn't have any money, and I just thought I need some decent equipment. I bought myself a what wasn't that? A Canon G7X. That was one of my first cameras. And then a Canon 70D. That was my first DSLR camera. And just a light, and I just kept practicing. And don't get me wrong, it was really hard to see yourself on camera, but you just keep practicing and trying to get better, and the editing skills improved. You know, it's just, I guess it's just making that first step and progressing there. But yeah, I think I've been a bit of a perfectionist, so I like it to be right, you know.
220,000 followers on YouTube. I mean, that's not to be sniffed at, is it really? No,
it's absolutely incredible, because YouTube's the hardest platform to build an audience. I mean, it's become more easy now. I mean, for me now, social media it's died now because of Reels. They are like a short-term video distraction side of social media now. Whereas before Reels, it was all about like a video, and people would come to you interested in what you've got to say, what you've got to offer, and they would stay to watch the video and then look forward to your next one. And it was a community. And it was brilliant, you know. But social media's changed now. People are distracted, and it's easy to get views, it's easy to get followers. It's all a facade, it's not a true. So what's happening is you can become a slave to the easy views and the easy likes and these subscribers, but you're not building an audience, you're just building a fake audience. You know what I mean? A front. You know, people who they're not going to buy a product off you, they're not going to listen to you. So much going on now on social media, it's absolutely mind-blowing. But yeah, I'd say I've done well, and I'm glad I built the audience before the Reels.
You get guys on the tools who watch your stuff, and they just comment and just go, oh wow, that's just something else. You know, that's as good as it gets. In 37 years, I don't think I have seen anything this neat. Not new anyway.
It's crazy, isn't it? Because you don't realise how much of an impact you're having on people out there, because you don't directly see it. You see it through the comments, but you know, you just have no idea of how much of an impact you can make on social media with the things you can do. That's why I keep trying to level up and push myself further, because even before I started that, I didn't realise it would turn out as good as that. And just one brick at a time, you know, one step at a time, the old mantra for life, you know. I think it's a good mantra for life, like building a house anyway. It's one brick at a time. You've got to focus on the one step at a time. You can't put the roof on first. You've got to start in the ground, rolling around in the mud, and then you finish up on the roof, and then you can stand back and enjoy what you built. But yeah, I get comments like that all the time. Even the locking piece, the Crompton lock piece in the corner. You know, somebody said like 50 years, I've never ever seen that. I said, you've seen it now.
Let's talk about the Crompton lock, because it makes sense, doesn't it? Because actually, if you've got sort of even a little bit of a technical mind, you can imagine the forces pushing it aside. You can't you? Or pushing it backwards, and then this little lock is just there.
Well, yeah. I mean, people say it's simple. Well, if it's simple, why has nobody ever done it before?
No.
Yeah, it's probably simple to do it now. You've seen me do it, because then you'll be copying it. But it's not hard. It's not simple to come up with new ways of design. So originally, I was doing a mitre pier cap in my back garden, my mum's back garden where I used to live. And yeah, I made those corners, and I thought, like, I put it on YouTube. It was one of my earlier videos on YouTube. It looked all right, but then the corners, somebody commented saying, no, they fall off them in a few years, because they're not, you know, they always do. I was like, okay, do they? So then I started doing a few more pier caps, and I did one with a square. And then I thought one day in the academy, how can I make that better? How can I lock that into there? So the guy can't comment saying that's going to fall off. So I did. I mean, yeah, I found a way of doing it, because then it can't come up. I mean, the first one I did was it was like a curved one, and that was one of my first viral pier caps on YouTube. I mean, the idea with it was trying to, because that pier cap is just one piece. You know what I mean? I bonded it together with adhesive, and the idea was just to. Me thinking for the future is try and make a mass-produced pier cap like that, so you can just buy it, put it on, and point it up. You know what I mean? So I'm working with someone at Marshall's to try and make that come to fruition, you know. Hopefully, because there's a bit of a gap in that market. There's a coping, a bit of a plain coping you can get, or you just have to do your own Pier cat, which takes time. You know, and bricklayers, they'd rather just put a coping on because it saves time.
Okay, so bricklaying, what do you think the future holds for the trade?
I think it's positive with the adage of social media, and more people doing the same as what I do. It puts it on the map to younger people, because younger people are using social media. Now the question is, when they try it, they're gonna like it. It's like, oh, it looks good on you know, it looks good on these videos and these camera and all these wonderful brickwork. And then, you know, a cold, freezing night, a cold day in winter, and it's peeing down. You know, are they going to enjoy it then? Because it's tough. It really is tough in winter, especially when you've got to get out there and earn your crust. It can be really tough at times.
So, do you think the trade's easy to get into?
I think so. I mean, there's various different ways of getting into it. I mean, obviously it depends on what age you're at as well, because a lot of people come to me in like the mid to late 30s and they say, is it too late for bricklaying? Because obviously they want to get into it that time. They've got kids and commitments and responsibilities, and they can't take a drop in a wage, you know, apprenticeship wage. But straight from college, yeah, I mean, college can help you out with ways of getting into the trade. I've set a bricklaying academy up. I can hopefully be a stepping stone for people that want to come and try, just hands-on, just for a place to come and see if you can do it or not, if you like it, if you enjoy it. I can be a stepping stone for that, for them to progress on and say, yeah, well, I want to do bricklaying, but yeah. There's many different ways of getting into bricklaying, yeah.
So in all your experience of working with bricks, what is your trade secret that if everyone followed would make the job easier?
It's hard because I want to say, like, take your time and get it right before you move on to the next brick or the next course. But when you've got people cracking the whip, it's like, come on, what are you doing? Because I used to get that when I was younger. It's like, what are you messing around with it for? Come on, hurry up. It's always like that. And it's like, it's difficult. But I would just say take your time and get it right and take pride in what you do and try and be different. If somebody's doing the same thing, they're probably doing it wrong.
Thank you ever so much for speaking to me today, Stu. It's been a pleasure speaking with you, and I wish you all the best for the future.
No problem, David. Thank you very much for that.